This episode is all about a nice coffee break. So make yourself a coffee and sit around with us. RSMR Katz. I hope you made yourself a nice coffee, as we did, and lean back, put your headphones in your ear, because this is a high quality recording with crystal clear sound. Feel free to follow, subscribe, and click on the notification bell, and spend some time here with me and my guest Flora to enjoy this ASMR episode. So, first of all, I stopped to drink in more than one normal coffee a day. So, in the morning, I make myself a cappuccino. I normally drink only cappuccino. And I have another, but it is without coffee. And it was not that easy to find a good tasting caffeineless coffee, but I have one now. When you search for a good coffee without caffeine, take one from Arabica beans. They press the caffeine out of them. Yeah. And you have a normal coffee, normal cappuccino, yeah. We are the cappuccino fraction.
I just discovered a really nice sound.
Ooh.
It's cool. Can you do it too?
So how much coffee you drink in a day?
It depends where I am. If I'm at work and everyone's drinking coffee all the time, it's the first thing I consume in a day without even eating, and I hate it. I think it's a really bad way to start the day without having something in your tummy. So on a day like that, I think it can be up to 5 coffees. Yeah, but no coffee after 6 p.m. And sometimes I drink one at like 5 before 6 p.m. And then I lie in bed, wake it, and I wonder why. And then the next day I'm like, Yeah, but I'm trying to drink less. So usually if I'm in Berlin and I'm just hanging out in my flat or I'm outside, it's maybe 1 or 2 a day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have a coffee machine in your apartment?
No, I do it like like I grew up with my grandparents, and I still do the coffee like we did, because they didn't have any fancy. They're busy workers, so you just put 2 teaspoons of coffee in the cup, and then you put the hot boiling water, and then you wait a little bit until the coffee sinks down, and then you're always gonna have this tiny little crumbs in your teeth.
Oh, we was visiting a friend in Russia, and then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna make you a coffee, and then he made the coffee also like this. No. I'm always like, when I go to other people and they make the first time for me coffee, I always say no to see what kind of coffee they create. It's my smart move. Yeah, exactly. Because I know that in the past they don't had coffee machines and they do it that way and it's fine. But like nowadays, when there is a coffee machine existing, they're not that pricey anymore.
I mean, I have one of those screwy things. It's mocha, I think. I don't know. But those, and then I feel the coffee gets a bit sour and it's very strong. And also I'm kind of missing the tiny crumbs. I think I like the experience of having them and finding them. It's just a few. It's like a little peeling on your lips. It's just tricky at the end, because when you reach the bottom, then it's like this game of how much coffee can I get without getting a lot of sand basically in your mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, when French press is the one you mean, right?
No,
Ah,
the
the
screwy
different-
thing.
Ah, okay.
The
Because when
French
you,
press. I had one,
yeah,
and it was very convenient. But it's not the same. I don't know. I think no coffee tastes the same like when you just pour it over.
but you actually don't take the beans. You take the already the
It's a grounded
grinded.
one, yeah.
When you would take the beans, would that work?
Just the beans?
Yeah.
No.
No. Maybe when you let it there for 5 hours.
So coffee beans. Let's try.
Yeah, just coffee beans and then hot water and then you put it on the stove, I don't know, and just let it there.
Let's experiment.
You know, then you have in the end a complete coffee bean, you know, like.
I like coffee beans.
Yes. You also drink coffee black?
I don't like it. If I have to, yeah, but no. Oh, oat milk is my favorite. Good
Yeah.
oat milk.
Yeah, the ones who follow my channel already a long time and was going with me through a few coffee episodes know I also drink oat milk in my coffee. But it was so weird. The last time I don't know, I haven't drank real milk for a very long time, and then I had something where was milk inside, and it was like a long time ago when I had the last time the milk taste in my mouth, and then it tasted fully like cow. You know, when you when you eat goat sometimes, then you taste so crazy goat because you're not used to it. And then I had it with the cow, and I was like,
yeah. I think for me it's been 9 years now.
9 years, 9 years, but 9 years vegan, right?
Yeah.
Because they're vegan next to me. But 9 years, this is like already a long time.
Huh? Yeah, it's really long. I don't remember how it tastes, but I also remember if I had it like by accident when I started transitioning, it was like too much. It sounded like intestines, like too fatty.
Yeah,
really
it's crazy.
fatty.
Yeah, but I think it's just everything when you're not used to it and then start, then you're like, whoa. I had one time, you know, and I stopped to take the anti-baby pill, and then I read also that it's very good for the process to stop with milk and all that stuff. And then I searched for some alternatives, what yogurt I could eat or something. And then I had a goat yogurt from goat milk. And it was so crazy. It tasted so disgusting. And then when you like...
Goat gourd.
when you just take the first... then it was disgusting. But then when you tried a little bit more and a little bit more, you got kind of used to it, you know. But then I stopped eating, and then 5 minutes later you start again, and it tastes directly again like in the beginning. So when you eat the goat yogurt, you have to eat it like fully properly past it.
Don't stop.
But yeah, no, not good.
Do you take sugar in your coffee?
I also don't take sugar in my coffee. For what here, like the cotton candy? No, I don't take at all much sugar. And I have a friend who take, what is the English word for it? It's like the sugar alternative. It's like in drops, and then you can push.
Stevia.
You can push it.
Yeah.
No,
Like
it's
sweetener.
not sweetener. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's stevia. I think it's something different. I don't know.
I hate it.
But and it's so sweet. It's crazy.
And it's so tiny, but it's so strong. And first time I didn't know, I'm like,
No.
Yeah. I sometimes do. Usually I try not to, because oat milk is quite nice. And if it's good coffee like this one, you don't need sugar, but it's like a cheap one. Or my one friend, she always has instant coffee.
So it's the one who drinks the coffee, just also like kind of instant.
Coffee. So this one, it needs to get pimped up. So I have this one agave syrup sugar, but it's with a caramel note. Yeah. So the caramel note in the coffee is nice. But then I'm like awake and sugary.
Oh no, instant coffee. Oh no. Everything where the powder is like you're just pure in the glass of water.
You're a snob about coffee? A little bit. Would you say you're a snob about coffee?
Wow, I'm first world country snob. Yeah, I really am. But I also don't drink coffee at all, So when we are in Asia, sometimes we are, or somewhere like far away where they have not the coffee standards because the country is not like used to coffee, then I always just drink no coffee. It's also then for me okay to don't drink coffee. I don't need 100%, especially coffee. But I better drink no coffee rather than a bad coffee.
See, I would rather have what you call bad coffee if it's a situation where I really like one than the other way around.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, I tried a few times, but even out of the French press, then often you get then the last sip of it, and then you have like this stuff inside, and then you drink, and then it's like in your throat, and you have to like almost vomit. Like, no, I can't. I just can't. But I also my full family was growing up in the east of Germany, and there was like this border, and then was the big wall, and they had no coffee at all. And when they had coffee, then also they drink it like you do at home. And so I knew that this existing, and my full family and everyone also drank coffee like this. And for me, it was always like weird to see that. So I started to drink coffee very, very late. How you started to drink coffee?
Do you know Caro Cafe? Like the malt coffee, like very instant. And it's like what in the East, they gave it to kids. It was super common. So I also grew up in the East. And because I was living with my grandparents, whenever they had coffee, the kids got coffee too. But the kids' coffee. So I had that since, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. But with milk and this, and I loved it. It was my favorite drink. I still like it. I would still drink it. Yeah, sometimes just this powder and then cold milk on top.
I never tried it. Is it like coffee without caffeine, or what is Caro coffee?
Yeah, it's like malt, and it's a powder, and I'll show you. I'll show you the beautiful secrets of East Germany.
Is it available in the South Germany in the supermarket yet?
Yeah, it's easy. I'm sure you saw it. It's like this red little sign. It's like a square, but it's a bit shifted.
Yeah, can be, yeah.
I'll show you. I don't think you'll like it. I have a feeling.
Do
you like malt beer?
No, I don't drink alcohol.
No, it's without...
Yeah, I know. But it's still alcohol inside.
In malt beer?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Ooh.
Because, like, there is so much stuff where there's alcohol in it. Even there are, like, some brioche breads with alcohol in it, and they just conserve it. But still, it's still alcohol inside. And for me, I don't drink alcohol since I'm 16, 18, 19, yeah, kind of like long time already. Yeah. So I taste the alcohol out of everything like crazy.
I didn't know, because I also don't drink, but I do drink malt beer because it doesn't say on there.
I know. But the thing is, I had like a very, very big discussion with my better half because he drank malt beer too. And then friends of us who they drank alcohol-free beer. And then he was like, you can't do that, there's still beer inside, and then you also can drink beer, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, yeah, but when you drink caramels, like the malt beer, I don't know if there's a difference. And he said, yeah, for sure, there's a difference. And then I Google it and find out that there's still beer inside, because the process of doing it, it's similar. It's not much, it's nothing where you say, oh, it's like full beer. But
okay, but sometimes I drink 2 in a row, so
yeah, but also in the German Milchschnitte and Kinderpinguin, there's always alcohol inside.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's everything is conserved with alcohol because of the buns, you know? That the buns hold longer and the milk inside and everything, they preserve it with alcohol.
Ew.
Like a lot of stuff for kids is with alcohol. And for sure it's not a lot, but yeah, they get kind of used to it, yeah, too.
There's even fewer things I can eat and drink.
Yeah, I think in the end, you know, even when you want to don't eat sugar, everywhere is sugar in it, or where you know, it doesn't matter. It's what it is, you know. It's maybe also, yeah, for some it's like not that bad, but I think it's kind of crazy.
I'm okay with sugar, but alcohol, I really don't want it anyway. Like even with medicine, I try to avoid it if it's with alcohol. Like, it's rather, if I don't have to, I don't want it.
Yeah. The thing is like, is caffeine better than alcohol, or you know, what is more or less addictive?
Coffee. It's all my childhood memories, all these conversations with my grandparents. I think I had my first milk coffee with 7, right? To be honest. Yeah. I also remember having they also gave me like a tiny bit of beer when I was 6 or 7 to try. And also, I think they wanted me to sleep. I think that's why they did it. Boys' grandparents, you know?
Yeah, I know that when I was a child, I also had my first alcohol experience with Mon Chéri. This is like a praline.
Yeah. They also tried to give me that, but it was disgusting. I still think it's disgusting.
Also the Mozartkugeln. Yeah. They are also with alcohol inside. Yeah, I had a few stuff, and as kid it just don't taste it good, so you stopped it. But now you know why it don't taste good, because of the alcohol inside. But
yeah, why would you give that to kids?
Yeah, another time, Also, marzipan. I don't know the English word for it.
I think marzipan.
Marzipan is also often
almond
with
paste.
alcohol.
Is it?
Yes.
Why do they put shit in everything?
To make us addicted.
Buy more. Eat more.
Drink more. Get fat like a pig and die. And give us a lot of money in the health.
That was a dark shift.
Yeah, but it's the truth, you know. Like there are not even a lot of people starving anymore. Like it was a time where a lot of people starved to death because they had no food. But even this is like not like that in the moment anymore that much. Because right now the society changed and want to feed the people more. Because the health system have to roll. But yeah. We want to relax here. Okay. Yeah, but the weird thing is very often I come through ASMR topics to very deep topics. This is what is sometimes, yeah. But do you remember your first real coffee explosion where you really was like over the top and like this?
Like a coffee shop?
Yes.
No.
I was born a coffee shop.
I think because also my grandma, she wanted me to help. I had a hard time focusing in school. So for homework, she would also give me, like when I came home from school, she's like, come on, have a coffee. And then after you do your homework. I know, but it worked because it helps me focus. But then I couldn't sleep, so she had to figure out when to give me coffee. Or
first the coffee and then to sleep the pralines.
Beer. Oh God! Welcome to Eastern Germany. No, I don't remember my first coffee shop. I just remember if I had it, it was horrible. Because I also had a lot of sugar with it, so it was like a sugar shock and a coffee shock, and no food and no sleep. And yeah, I also used to take, do you know those caffeine pills? It's just like from the pharmacy, like pure caffeine, like caffeine. Yeah, I used it for studying and for homework. So I guess maybe I used to be addicted to coffee. If I look back on it with you now, yeah, there's a history of caffeine in my life.
Because you was always tired and couldn't focus, or you just
I was for sure not tired, but I couldn't focus.
crazy. Yeah.
It just helps with that. And yeah, I remember in university, I had to focus so hard, and I always had caffeine with me also for the exams. And then after the exam, because during the exam, like when you write an essay or something, I would take more. I'm like, I have to focus more. I have to focus. Oh, I'm running out of time. I have to focus more. And then after the exam, I was like,
What did you study?
philosophy. Philosophy and English.
This is why you are so good in English.
Maybe. Thank you.
She was always so good in English.
I don't know. I always had English
drink
music. No, it was English music, and I used to translate the lyrics because back then, I would always have pen and paper and translate and look up the words and do that, and then studying in English television, and then from Berlin, I met English people so soon, and I think the point where it's changing is when you meet someone they can only speak English, and you have to, and then you're not so blocked anymore because you don't think about sounding nice or using correct grammar. You're just trying to have a conversation and be understood and understand. And I think, if you do that, and then since I'm 17, my best friend, she's from Detroit, and we always talk English. So since 17.
Yeah, that's fully good. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, thank you.
And when you study philosophy in English, there was a lot more people who actually came from other countries who only could speak English, or why you did it in English?
No, philosophy and English.
Both.
Yeah. I don't know how uni works nowadays, but back then it was a bachelor where you have to like a major subject and a minor subject. So philosophy was main, and then English was minor.
And how was the philosophy study?
Oh, it ruined me. It ruined my mind, and I mean, you're not the same person once you open up, and once you like reflect and look or try to look behind things as they seem, and then I don't know, you start questioning everything around you. And I think no one who actually dived into philosophy like seriously and took it seriously, I don't think that ever came back. I don't think they did, but I'm very glad I did it, because before I always had questions. I was always running around questioning everything, and I just didn't understand so much, and I still don't. But at least you learn how to ask questions, how to understand, how to better understand the people around you, how to actually understand what is said in a conversation, and how you have like a constructive questions or constructive criticism. So it's a bit easier to navigate through the world, but it's a very humbling experience because I kind of knew before that I don't know much, and that there's so much knowledge and truth out there. You can never catch up. But well, once you study philosophy, you prove to yourself that you know shit and that you will never know anything. So it's a very humbling experience, and it really helped me overcome my ego for good.
Crazy. There was a lot of different mind-opening stuff going on, or was there one moment where you really was fully blown away from what you heard there?
Honestly, from day one. Yeah. It's even if you just look back on the old Greeks, it's like, wow, they didn't have the input we have. They didn't have psychedelics. They didn't have, I don't know, they just had the knowledge that were told to them, and that were like, it wasn't proven or anything. They didn't have science like we have now, like we used to, like facts and science and observations. And even they could think so big, like they created the whole systems of universe and planets and God and gods and whatnot, and how everything works and is connected. And they have some amazing, beautiful theories. Of course, we know it's not really like that, but or do we know? We don't. But we think we know that it's not like that. But even it's like reading the most complex, beautiful, deep fairy tales. It's like really nice. So that blew my mind away. And then also, what was also blowing my mind all the time is you read one theory, one standpoint, and you know they have a thesis, they give their arguments, and you're like, yeah, that's it. That's it. You know? This is like solid truth. This guy knows it. And then there's another philosopher. I have another theory. Let me prove why you're wrong and I'm right. And you're like, yeah. Oh no, this dude is right. It's this one. And then you're like, but fuck, so what do I think now? So you have this constant dilemma of choosing between good arguments because they both make sense. And it's just so good to remind yourself whenever you're too certain or too sure of something, you can always be wrong. There's always another perspective, and this other perspective, sometimes you have different perspectives on the same thing and the same facts, but they can all be kind of right, or you can understand all of them. So it's definitely a great guidance how you form opinions in your life and beliefs, and if you should stick to them or not. Like, never be too certain. So I'm always really surprised when I end up in a conversation and someone just gives me this long monologue and it's like, this is like this, like this, like that. I'm like, wow, I think I've never been so sure about anything in my life. This is, I'm jealous. I would love to be certain of anything.
Yeah, I know. Good. Can imagine. And what do you have then for topics? Like what you study in philosophy? What for different classes you had?
Oh, there's so much. So it's like, you have the ethics and then the philosophy of existence or being. What can we know? What exists? What it is to exist? And then the history of philosophy, where you just go from the old Greeks up until now. And my focus, of course, was on Western philosophy. So I didn't read. We really didn't speak about Eastern philosophy, but I still want to, because I think there's so much more concepts and theories and systems that I want to dive into, and it's going to be very different, because Western philosophy obviously is based on Western thinking and Western culture, so Eastern philosophy is very different. And my main focus, so there's so many genres you can have, but my main focus was on language philosophy, because I studied a language, and then
English, or something different.
And then I always loved languages, like the tools that we use to move around in this world and to understand each other. And so language philosophy, I found it always very interesting. Like, what is the meaning of a word? Like, where is this meaning? What kind of thing is meaning? So that was a subject. And then how is thinking and language connected? Because do we think in language, or is language a reflection of our thoughts? Is it something completely different? Is it the same? Yeah.
But do you only speak English or German and English, or you are able to speak more languages?
No, one time I was forced to speak French. That is when I was in Paris, and just no one spoke English and no one wanted to speak English. And I was there for more than 2 weeks. So eventually I was able to learn to speak French, not to have a decent conversation, but to get around. But it's very basic. But, few words in there. As soon as you're not forced to learn something anymore, I think, I'm lazy. I don't have focus. Something else is more interesting. Something that gives a quick reward is probably more interesting to me, because learning a language, you see the reward after a long time and lots of effort and lots of sitting still. So yeah, there's so much more that gives you a quick reward, like coffee.
I think philosophy and coffee fits always very good together.
You should always have a coffee while philosophizing.
Yeah, it can be very mind-blowing, yeah. But for other people, it also can be very destroying. It's a thin line, yeah.
Yeah, I became a dominatrix because the jobs that philosophy offered were, let's say, limited.
Yeah.
I also wanted to stay in uni and not become a professor, but become some like lower level teacher, or even thought about teaching ethics in school. But I don't know, the longer I studied, the more I discovered that this life is short. There's no, I don't believe in karma or like destiny, or that anything is determined from before. I think you have indefinite choice. And also there's no goal in this life. So I don't know, pursuit of happiness is my highest goal while not hurting others. And so it makes so much sense to me to have a good job that doesn't feel like working too much, and to choose the craziest friend, and to live and have experiences instead of reading too much. Yeah. Because it's just, I don't know, it's just so exhausting for the mind. I also stopped studying at one point because there was no more point. The longer you study philosophy, it's like, why do I spend this short time I have on this planet with exams that, I don't know, prove something to someone, instead of still reading this stuff, but taking this knowledge into the world and observing the world with this knowledge and background, which is like a so much more intense observation.
Yeah, it's nice what you speak about. Actually, it is, yeah. Crazy. And a lot of people stop to study them.
Yeah. I think two-thirds, I think, or at least half dropped out.
With how many you start?
I don't know. I don't remember. And there's also different ways of studying. There's like the people who are into logic and mathematical philosophy and very theoretical, analytical philosophy. And then there's ethics, which is sometimes a bit, it's not easier as philosophy, but you have more connection to the world. Because, like, for example, if you talk about ethics in healthcare, like assisted suicide, that was one of the subjects I was really interested in ethically. You have like actual people, actual things that are happening, actual problems in the world that need solutions and that need to be discussed. So that's like a whole different thing, rather than just philosophizing and analyzing in theory all the time. Because where is that even? I don't see. It causes me headache, but I don't even see where this problem exactly is. And if you look into medical care, there's so much going wrong, and there's so much need for ethics. So yeah, even if we both studied philosophy, we might have very different subjects we think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I also really, like, recently I went back to uni because I had to get a paper, and I mean, it's a long time. It's like 5 years I've been out of uni, I think, and I almost teared up. I was really emotional.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, because I saw the tables outside where I would read for my seminars, and then where I had this mind-blowing conversation with a professor of mine. I would always like take the professor for coffee. Actually, for coffee afterwards.
Yeah,
we
no,
always had coffee all the time. Yeah, and I was quite sad because I don't read much at the moment. But I brought a book with me, so here in Thailand, when I have some free time.
It's always funny when I go into coffee conversations because the people ask, yeah, what you want to ask me? Yeah, we'll ask you. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about, but let's go easily, because it goes very organically, because everyone have kind of a story to tell, and it's always like, yeah.
Oh, there's more stories. But I'll not start asking you questions now. Otherwise, it's like a 3-hour coffee marathon talk.
But it's nice, therefore we are here, Yeah, it's nice when you're like kind of thoughtful in your way. Like, I don't know. I know you now 1 year, 2 year, 1 year. How long do I know you? 2 years, 3 years? I don't know. 2 years?
Me neither. It was Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's Eve.
There was a time.
So we have the time frame. Now we just need to figure out the year.
Yeah, but this we have
at least 1.5 years. I think 1.5 years.
Yeah, could be, yeah. But we had a lot of conversations, but this is the first time we talked about that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I know that you study English and philosophy, but I was not knowing your purpose behind. And also when you spoke about it was very interesting. I never heard that. And I know also like a few people who studied philosophy. And it's so crazy because when is the moment where you start to open your eyes? For some, it happens never. For others, it happens faster. Or even to understand what I mean with open the eyes, it's like also for everyone kind of different, So I can ask yourself, what do you mean with that? And someone was, I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter much because it's for everyone different. But I saw a lot of people studying different things. I also study and break up with study. And it's like, it's always so crazy to see which paths people go and why they go this path. And when they have a very interesting path, it's always like mind-blowing to know what are the purposes that they go this kind of way. So I think it's always super interesting. And yeah, I see a lot of people studying philosophy and you can't even do something with it in the end. There's no job.
Yeah, but you acquire skills like logical thinking. So I could work in logistics, or I can, wherever someone needs like a system, or someone to create a system, or a structure. I think
the pouring system created by Flora.
But creating a structure for something. Recently, I got offered a job as creative director. I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Where? At a porn company.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you have this overall feeling and view for it and the organizational skills. And if you look at my life and my flat, I think I have 0 organizational skills. But yeah, I think you acquire skills, and being critical also helps you in life. So maybe there's not like a certain job attached to it. But I think you learn a lot.
And you consider it?
I did for a short time, but it's 40 hours a week and is less payment than
you have now.
Than I have now, and it's less free time. So it's important to me doing stuff like that whenever I want to.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
No, but it was very like, oh, cool. You see something I don't. Thank you. I have other options.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of conversations with people who say, yeah, what you do, you can't do anything else. Once you go that path, then you can. But I think
other paths are opening.
You always can go back to in a normal society. There is always a job waiting for you where you can sit 40 hours and do clockwork,
Of course.
Doesn't matter what you're doing, like really.
Yeah, really. I have plan B and plan C and plan D if I don't want to be a dominatrix and aspiring porn star one day. Well, but as long as I can do it, of course. I'd be stupid not to. I have good reasons and arguments for doing it.
Yeah, actually, I feel you. But yeah, I think there is like no point in not doing what your heart desires and craving for happiness. And yeah, that's a good point. Exactly there, and there's nothing to add more. Everyone finds happiness in their own way. Everyone defines happiness differently. And when everyone would do the same, our world would not exist like it does. So yeah, this is what it is, with all ups and downs. But I think we can close this coffee talk with the amazing thought that you always should put happiness first. Absolutely. Because otherwise, what you have for existence in life, happiness is a good one. Feels good, right? Yeah, it feels good. It feels complete. I think when someone is happy, it feels complete. There's like nothing to add on. Happiness is like the best drug. Better than coffee. Okay, so do you have some more words to say?
Ooh, a lot, but I think I still have some cotton candy to chew on and some ASMR clips to shoot. So
okay, so stay healthy, stay happy. Click on the notification bell, subscribe and comment if you like this episode. And then we will see us hopefully soon.